Hi guys, so let's do a revision on one final example. All right, so let's look at this. What I want you to do is I want you to pause the video, try and do this question, and then we will discuss together. Okay, you guys ready? All right, now I hope you remember what is this. This is the sigmoid curve or the S curve that we talked about, right? Okay, so some students observe a giant some students observe a number of organisms in a habitat. They saw that the beetles eat plants, snakes eat frogs, and frogs eat beetles. All right, so plants were eaten by the beetles. Frogs eat beetles, and snakes eat frogs. That was easy, right? Okay, so remember the population curve. When you start off, it's called a lag phase. Then it becomes a log phase or exponential phase. And then growth just stops. It's called stationary phase. And this one, when the population is starting to die, it's called death phase. Okay, you don't have to write the phase lah. I'm just writing it so that you know the whole thing. So lag phase is when it's a new organism, new to the environment, so they're slowly reproducing. There's not that many of them. And it was a log phase is when there's many of them and everything is enough. There's enough food, there's enough space, there's enough water, so they keep reproducing. Stationary phase is when the space becomes full, there's less food already. And death phase is when there's more death, there's not enough food, there's diseases. Okay, so using your information from the food chain, from this food chain, and also your knowledge on other factors that affect population suggests the reasons of the shape on the curve S here. Why are the frogs going through a death phase? So you can say things like there are more snakes. Snakes are the predator. You can say there are less beetles. You can say, okay, now remember, you cannot just say more food, less food, because they're asking you to use the information from your food chain. Okay, so you have to specifically say more snakes that eat frogs, less beetles for frogs to eat, or you can just say more population of snakes and less population of beetles. It's fine. Okay, what else can cause it? Okay, diseases, pollution. Okay, for example, acid rain can cause the eggs of the frogs to die off. So any one of those are accepted. Okay. All right, let's do a next question. Okay, now I want you to again pause the video and read carefully and answer these questions. Okay, ready? An animal that gets its energy by eating other animals, carnivore. A network of interconnecting food chains, a food web. An organism that makes its own organic nutrients by photosynthesis, a producer. A position of an organism in a food chain, that's called their trophic level. An animal that gets its energy by eating plants. Eating plants, it's called a herbivore. A group of organisms of one species living in the same area at the same time. So that's called population. A unit containing all the organisms in their environment interacting together. Okay? That is called ecosystem. And finally, a diagram which shows the quantities of organism involved. Quantities of organism, how many of them? That's pyramid of numbers. Okay, so I hope you're able to study hard for your exams, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.